Located in the southern part of Africa, Malawi has a population of 17 million people. About 85% of the population live in the rural areas and rely mostly on rain-fed subsistence farming. Agricultural land in Malawi is very minimal, with most subsistence farmers having less than 1 hectare of land. Despite many Malawians relying mostly on rain-fed agriculture, the country has been experiencing unpredictable rain patterns for many years, leading to low farm produce. Nsanje and Chikwawa, geographically known as the Lower Shire, are the two districts that have mostly been affected by climate change. Each passing year, the two districts experience floods and drought. However, the people of the two districts still secure their daily income by raising animals and cultivating drought-tolerant crops to feed their families despite these challenges.
Kuno kwathu kumusi wa nsiji wa Shire ulimi umene timalima thonje chimanga mapira kale tinkakolola kumaifa cha kusintha kwa nyengo kunona kuti zokolola zinambo kumachepa kenako mabwera ng'amba madzi osefukira.
It is against this background that the Malawi government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development, is implementing the Shire Valley Transformation Program, SVTP. Gray Nyandule Piri is the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development. He says the project will ensure farmers in the Shire Valley cultivate crops all year round.
Malawi being an agro-based economy, and then it's relying only on rain-fed agriculture, when we have huge bodies of water. In other ways, the issues of climate change could not have been affecting us seriously in terms of production. Now, this production, which is not enough for us to be able to generate enough resources, or in other words, revenue or income, but at the same time, you know that we have even the problems of food shortages. When actually, if we come up with some irrigated agriculture in a serious way, then this country will not find itself importing food. If anything, we should be looking for markets for whatever we are producing. But we have been having these problems. That's why a decision was made to say any irrigation scheme that we want to develop, maybe the minimum should be 50 hectares and above. However, more so, if you can engage large tracts of land, thousands of hectares, it will be better.
SVTP will focus on providing access to reliable irrigation and drainage services, secure land tenure for smallholder farmers, and strengthen management of wetland and protected areas in the two districts. Sandra Maweru is the project coordinator for SVTP, and he explains more about the project.
This project is aiming at exploiting the irrigation potential in the Shire Valley, and therefore it will provide for an intake at Kapichira Dam through a canal that will flow water through gravity all the way to Bangula when all the phases are done. And therefore, at this point in time, we've started with phase 1, and the idea is to irrigate 43,370 hectares in the two phases. The first phase is 22,280, the second phase is 21,090. And it is going to benefit the 48,400 farm families in the project area, which translates to 223,000 people as a population. The first phase, it is going to benefit 21,000 farm households, which translates to 95,000 individuals in the valley. But apart from that, it will also ensure that the project beneficiaries are provided for with adequate information and also means to market the crop through value addition. There is a component that is looking specifically at that, because for the 3,000 hectares, using it as subsistence farming, that means we have spent money on nothing. So therefore, there will be a lot of commercialization in the valley emanating from the project.
The project will abstract water from the Shire River at Kapichira Dam, conveying it by gravity to the irrigable area of Chikwawa and Imsanje districts through canals.
The area that we are talking about is an area which is more or less semi-arid. Semi-arid in the sense that it receives not more than 500 millimeters of rain annually, and therefore it's a dry land. And because of that, we are bringing water, gravity-fed water, to a dry, parched land. And the farmers, they are hardworking, but the soils are good, but what they liked most was water. So if we bring water there, then the farmers start cultivating throughout the year, and then we come in with issues of marketing. We come up with the special economic zones. Then we are going to incentivize the energy of the farmers in producing much more than they do now, because now they have all the requirements for production in place.
The project will be done in 2 phases. The first phase has started and is covering areas from Chikwawa North to the edge of Lengwe National Park, while the second phase will cover south of Lengwe National Park to Bangula. Construction of the intake at Kapichira Dam and the first 6 kilometers of the main canal has already started. Conduril Engineering is the contractor constructing the intake plus the first 6 kilometers. Government of Malawi is in the process of procuring a contractor for the construction of the canal from 6 kilometers up to Lengwe National Park. The gravity-fed irrigation water is expected to start flowing to the fields for cultivation in 2022. Ariesh Enos is the Conduril's project manager.
We have started the project. We are now make the mobilization to erect our campsite. As well, we have already started clearing the main canal road to start with the excavation. The project started on March. The time for completion is 30 months, so meaning that the end of the project will be at September 2022. The first one is the intake, and the other part of the project is the main canal of the to collect the water from the intake. We hope that all the people involved, we as a contractor, the client, and the community, could be engaged on this project, because at the end of the day, all of us will feel happy if the project goes well.
The construction of the Shire Valley irrigation scheme has taken into consideration environmental and social factors. One of the key structures on the scheme is the construction of the fish barrier. The fish barrier will prevent invasive fish species like tiger fish, which is found on the downstream of Kapichira Falls, from migrating to Lake Malawi through a network of drains, tertiary, secondary, and main canal. Engineer James Chikungu is one of the irrigation engineers on the project.
The studies have shown that in downstream of Kapichira Dam, we have invasive species called tiger fish. This fish is so destructive that once it finds its chance into Lake Malawi, it will eat all the small fishes which we value ourselves, like chambo, the cichlids, and make it into extinction. Now, to prevent that, along the canal, almost at a channel 3.2 kilometers from the intake, we will construct the fish barrier. Basically, this is a big drop structure, which from the bottom up to the top, the drop is almost 6.5 meters. The recommendation from the consultants, that is biologists, was that this fish can jump almost 2 meters. So in our design, we have included a barrier which is more than 2 meters, so as to prevent this fish from moving over upstream of Kapichira Dam.
Issues of land tenure and governance have also been considered greatly in the project.
We have known that there are a number of challenges our smallholder farmers face. One of them is the size of their holdings. They are very small. This makes it difficult to mechanize, makes it difficult for them to produce and to compete on the market. So therefore, what we would like to do is to make the smallholder farmers more competitive on the market and allow them to be able to mechanize by consolidating their land so that they can have large-scale farms. We ensure that all the landowners in the area, their land holdings have been adjudicated and have been demarcated, and everybody has gotten a customary estate title so that the land is known to be theirs.
Many people have lost land and houses as the irrigation infrastructure passes through their properties. This is why the Ministry of Lands and Housing are partners in the project so that the affected people are compensated for their land.
There are also issues that you have to consider. In this instance, we're talking of where the canal is passing. And in these areas where the canal is passing, there are communities, and it was important that as government we consider the persons that will be disturbed by this project in terms of social and economic life. So government has had to come in to pay compensations to the farmers and communities that are in areas where the canal is going to pass and in areas where some infrastructure is going to be constructed.
It is pleasing to note that the project affected persons have so far been compensated.
Thawaya tunakhala bankhani ya malo kuti malo athu akupita kuti tipanga bwanji ndanati oyayi malo ano pamene tikwatenga kuti mbadutse chingalande ichi tizakupasani chipepeso chimene chidzathandizire kuti niwo muzapeze malo ena. Ndiye pamene tikuyembekeza dongosolo limene jayo zinapezeka kuti anatiphunzitsanso za mmene tingagwiritsire ntchito ndalama zichi. Ndiye ndalama zisanabwere tinakhala ndi plani kugwirizana ndi mayi akunyumba amene ali akazanga kuti kudi panopa malo akachoka tizapanga chani kuti tidzakhalenso mgulu la anthu amene adzapindulire ndi madzi amenewo. Ndiye pamene tinakhala pasi kuyamba kufunafuna malo kuti tizatani tizagule ndalama zikatani zikapezeka. Ndiye tidapezana ndi ena okambirana nawo kuti ndalama zikazatheka kuti muzagula malo ndimene tinapangira chimene chinatisangalatsa nchoti ndalama zija zitabwera ndimene tinakakambirana naso ndi munthu amaloja kuti alife timafuna chani malo aja panopa takonzeka mmene timakapangana madongosolo opanga opasana ndalama kuti tikatani tigule malo amenewo. Cholinga chachikulu chinali choti tisazapezeke kuti uzangokhala ongoloza kuti chingalande chadutsa kwathu kuno kumapesa kupindula ndife tinaganiza zogula malo ena kuti pamene tidzapange phindu ndi madzi amenewo ifenso tidzakhale mgulu la anthu opanga phindu kudera kunoko.
The Shire Valley Transformation Program will ensure that it is sustainable and benefit generations to come. The project will also make sure that there is less impact on the environment. Although the project is passing through wildlife protected areas, it will ensure that all animals and vegetation is protected. Daulos Mawambeta is the Natural Resources Management Coordinator.
Within the Shire Valley Transformation Program, we have got a component called Natural Resource Management, and in this Natural Resource Management, the objective is to strengthen connectivity of protected areas in this area. We have got Majete Wildlife Reserve, which is located at the intake of the canal, and in between we have got a corridor which has got a lot of forests but managed by communities, and rivers which have also got some forests around them. And then we have got Lengwe National Park, Mwavi Wildlife Reserve, we have also Matande Forest Reserve, but also the mighty Elephant Marsh, which has got a lot of resources in there. The idea of this connectivity is to ensure that the resources which are in this lower Shire area are well protected, and ensure that we do not have siltation that is going to go into the canal once it's constructed. But above that, the idea is also to conserve, and conservation here means management and the sustainable use of the resources which we have in the lower Shire.
Wisely Kawaye is the Regional Director for Parks and Wildlife, and he concurs with Mawambeta.
The project is going to provide us the field equipment because our field staff really do not have what they're supposed to have. In that case, they'll be doing the work with commitment. unlike the way it has been. In terms of revenue, we hope with increased number of animals, it means that more visitors will be coming to this place.
Kasintula Sugarcane Growers Association and Pata Cane Growers Cooperatives are some of the irrigation farms practicing commercial farming. This commercial type of farming will be adopted by the new farmers in the new irrigation scheme. Adrian Maseo is agriculture commercialization specialist and he explains more.
The project will facilitate land consolidation. This will be the first major step in terms of commercializing agriculture in the Shire Valley. This will entail that farmers will be producing on a large scale production. So after land consolidation, the farmers would decide to register a farmer organization like a company or a cooperative. They will further be advised to choose a pathway. They might either opt to manage the farms by hiring farm managers, or they might decide to manage their farms on their own, or they might decide to lease the land to other companies or enter into a joint venture with some companies. For the crops or value chains that will be promoted, the first prioritized value chains are cotton, sugarcane, soya beans, common beans, maize, pigeon peas, but there are also non-crop related value chains that will be promoted like fish farming, which is aquaculture, and livestock production. In terms of markets, the project will partner with Malawi Investment Trade Center, again with Ministry of Industry, Trade and Tourism, to identify both local and foreign markets.
The government of Malawi is committed in ensuring that agriculture in Malawi shifts from rain-fed smallholder-oriented farming to commercial farming. This, in turn, will boost agriculture and the country's economy.
There are plans to engage other large tracts of land in irrigation farming, because as Malawi, if we are really to mitigate the effects of climate change, irrigation is the answer. And as of now, everybody knows government has prioritized agriculture within there. The biggest component is the irrigation, and the way to go is irrigation farming in this country.
It is hoped that SVTP will also transform people's lives in the Shire Valley and the surrounding areas.
At the end of the day, we want to see the lives of the people in the valley and the surrounding areas and cascading into the whole Malawi, lives changing. And then ensuring that we also have a source of forex through the crop that will be produced here, because there will be a lot of value addition in the project.
Paramount Chief Lundu is happy with the coming of the project. He, however, advises the people in his area to support the project fully.
Sitikufuna kuti munthu wina aliyense aononge zipangizo zimene macontractors akupangira, komanso even kanala kuti ayiononge zimene zefe sitikufuna. Takhala tikuwafotokozera kuti chinthuchi sichaboma, chathu cha ife anthu akuno. Ma beneficiaries za chinthu chimene chichacho ndi aini the communities amene tili kuzungulira kanala imene iyo. Ndiye ngati munthu boma yakupasani chinthu chachikulu ngati chimene chichacho kuti tichiononge ndiye kuti ndife anthu osayamika.
There is now hope that once the Shire Valley irrigation scheme has been constructed and farmers start using the water, the agenda of the Malawi government of transforming smallholder farming into large-scale commercial farming in the Shire Valley will be achieved.